Q&A time.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
So it's Instagram Q&A time. I had been doing this once a week. I moved it to once every 2 weeks to maybe once every month. Next month, I'm going to do a live Facebook Q&A where I'm probably going to get a 12-pack of beer and just answer questions, and then I'll post it online later. Today I posted this up. It's Wednesday the 15th right now. I posted this up in the middle of the day, and I got a lot of responses. So I'm probably going to post two separate videos, one with 10 questions apiece. So there'll be part one and part two, and I'll post them up tomorrow, Thursday the 16th. And we'll see how it goes. But here we go. So question one comes from the Oklahoma Beast. Do you think low reps or high reps are better for muscle growth? Yes, I think both are important. I personally, in my routines, often do like a heavy day and then a higher rep day. And still keep the weight moderate. I don't believe in super lightweight, just because I try to keep my rep range fairly low. I think doing a lot of reps, especially when you're getting to be in your like mid 30s and up, wear and tear on the joints. And I much prefer to do some heavier weight with really good form and just pound it out. But yeah, I believe in both. You need both high rep and low rep in order to gain muscle mass, in my opinion. It can't just be always heavyweight, because there's no change in stimuli to your muscles. And I really believe that not the whole shock the muscle thing, but I really believe that in some way you need to change the stress that you put on the muscles. The next question comes from Pamela Clark. I have a good 100 pounds to lose. I'm a woman in my 30s, horrible flexibility with wood yoga and weight training alternating days. Help me get to my goals. I absolutely believe so. First of all, yoga can be quite a workout depending on the type of yoga you use. If you use like a good vinyasa flow or a power flow, I don't like Bikram yoga because I don't believe you should do yoga in a heated environment just to sweat off weight. I think that's bullshit. But that coupled with powerlifting is really what I kind of preach. I think that they complement each other really well, and as long as even while you're lifting, you don't need to necessarily go for the heaviest weight you can, but if you're keeping your heart rate in the fat burning zone, which is basically 220 minus your age times 0.85 for your max range. So say you weighed, say you were 20 years old. So 220 minus 20 is 200. 200 times 0.85 is 170. So 170 would be your max range. And then 0.65, which would be 130, would be your minimum range. If you stay within that range to burn fat, it would work perfectly, just as much as cardio, frankly. And then yoga is great because you do get your heart rate up also, but it's great for flexibility. It's great for core stability. It's great for recovery too. So I think absolutely, yes, it would. If you're looking for a good yoga page, you should go to Do Yoga With Me. I'll link that below for you. And it's doyogawithme.com. They have everything from beginners all the way to advanced, different types of teachers, different types of yoga. Fabulous page for free that you can check out online. Awesome resource. The next one comes from Jasper Van Hickel. I hope I got that name right. What do you think about foam rolling? Been doing it lately to alleviate shoulder pains, and it seems to be working. I foam roll occasionally, especially for like my lower back and my SI joints and stuff like that. I think it's okay. I don't have much to say about it. I'm not some fucking expert on it. That's for fucking sure. John Graham. Sorry if you answered this already. Haven't had time to watch your videos the past week or so. What the fuck, dude? But what supplements do you take and whose do you take? I take my own. I have a video that you can check out how I make my own pre-workout. And I fluctuate that pre-workout, but the only thing that really fluctuates on it is the caffeine. Sometimes I'll take anywhere from 300 to 500 milligrams of caffeine. Grams, Jesus. But as for that, the only other supplement I do take like a store-bought, whatever flavored BCAA, and different whey proteins, not only just whey, but different plant-based proteins too. And I do take DHEA, DIM, almost every day. And I take about 200 milligrams of both of those. So that answers another question later. Somebody asked if I use anabolics. I do use DHEA and DIM every day. Episode 65, what do you recommend for a powerlifting calorie deficit? A powerlifting calorie deficit, it depends on what you mean. Calorie deficit is calorie deficit. I mean, if you are 500 calories below your maintenance, you're going to lose a pound a week. Sometimes there's a variable in there. A lot of people are like, oh, no, that's not how that happens. No, the only variable is actually how much you actually burn. If you put in your calorie counter, sometimes your natural metabolism is higher or lower than that. Plus, just putting in a certain exercise doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to burn exactly that. It's just an estimate. But for powerlifting, to maintain strength, it should be a really small deficit. 200 calories at most. That's really equivalent to kind of a little less than a half a pound a week if you want to lose weight, if you want to do it over the course of a long time. I personally would rather just cut real hard, up to like a pound a week. That's it. I'd like to cut a pound of fat a week, and then maybe refeed right before the competition or something like that. But realistically, I honestly don't suggest anybody losing more than 2 pounds a week. 2 pounds a week is fucking crazy. I mean, if you really think about it, it's a 1,000 calorie deficit in a day. Not many people can actually maintain that and actually function in a normal life. So, but for a powerlifting deficit, 200 maybe calories, and that's kind of fucking just opinion, The next one comes from Elgintensity. Oh fuck, that's Elgintensity. When the Trap Lord asks you a question, you fucking answer it. When you were a novice lifter back in the day, before the internet or even electricity, fucker, what were your go-to resources to learn, to make your gains? What resources do you recommend newbie lifters now besides your own channel? Back in the day, before the internet, because I actually started lifting before the internet, well before the internet, back in the day I used to stand in the magazine racks and look at Muscle and Fitness and Flex Magazine and stuff like that, and read the fucking articles while my parents were shopping. So of course that means, I was initially trained in the bro science method, where it's hard to even say if anything was actually accurate. Once the internet hit, I researched fucking everything. I think you should research everything you fucking do, especially when it comes to what you put in your body or what you do with your body. I totally believe you should research every little fucking thing you do. I think that's the reason why I'm in my mid-40s and I'm on no medications at all, besides the supplements I take for working out, which I even just said earlier. It's just my pre-workouts, creatine, beta-alanine, and DHEA and DIM. That's literally all I take. I don't even take ibuprofen. Honestly, I use turmeric capsules instead for anti-inflammatory instead of ibuprofen. But what do I suggest now? There is nothing more important for a newbie lifter than to learn about nutrition, and there's absolutely nothing more important than to learn about form. If you can't learn about form, if you can't get your form right, that's pretty fucking sad. I will say this. I mean, I think that he was testing me, but I am actually a huge fan of his, and I realized that he runs a form checker. He's hired people because I guess because he knocks out people's form so much. But Elgintensity has this thing where you can send videos into his service and they'll check your form for you so you don't end up on one of his fucking videos. I've got to say, I've vacillated between I thought it would be terrifying to end up on one of his videos for my squats, or how fucking cool it would be. I don't fucking know which I'd prefer, but I am honored you asked me a question, sir. Huge fan, and thank you very much. The next one comes from Elias Rod 22. Can you get muscular using strictly calisthenic training? You can. You're going to be doing a lot of fucking calisthenics, though. People gain muscle and with proper nutrition, but also through progressive overload. So basically, if you start off doing 20 push-ups a day, then it needs to go up to 30 push-ups a day, 40 push-ups a day, 50, 60, 70, 80. I mean, at one point in time, I did a push-up challenge a couple years ago where I was doing 1,000 a day, 1,200 a day. And it was great. I mean, I actually helped completely rebuild my chest. I do believe it might be one of the reasons why my arthritis fucking flared up in my shoulder. But it was absolutely fabulous for my chest and especially my triceps. I don't suggest it. You're going to be doing a lot of people don't have that much time to dedicate to do calisthenics that long, but you can. It's physically possible. The next one comes from Gabriel Ibarra. Best way to lose weight fast and efficiently. Honestly, in my mind, the best way to lose fat efficiently is to, very honestly, lift weights. The more muscle weight you gain, the more fat you burn. Plus, weightlifting can, if you keep yourself in the proper heart rate range, as I said before earlier in this video, you can lose just as much fat as with cardio. Realistically, you can, and develop a stronger musculoskeletal system. I personally don't believe in that much heavy cardio, especially for people above the age of 35. I don't believe running is really great on the joints, the ankles, the knees, the hips, the lower back. As we get older, I do believe that lifting heavier weight can increase, everything from your hormonal levels, if you do compound movements, to just help you burn calories. But the biggest thing about that is losing weight efficiently and well. You need to watch your nutrition, and I suggest no more than a 500 to 750 calorie deficit a day, and that's a pound to a pound and a half a week. And you shouldn't go above that. If you can go below that and lose like a half pound to a pound a week, even better, because then it tends to stay off better. But that's, it's got to be strictly monitored. It just does. The next one comes from Huge Banks, and he asked me, do you think vegan gains is natural? I honestly do. I am not a Richard fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's a complete fucking lunatic, but I do think he's natural. A lot of people are trying to say that he's on roids now or he's doing whatever. I honestly think that he was just lifting so fucking poorly, that he knew so little about fitness that he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. I really believe that. I think that this was a method for him to, one, make money, and two, talk about veganism, and he's done a good fucking job of both. I think that he is natural. I think that, he stays lean because the one thing that I can honestly say I truly believe he does is seriously watch his fucking diet every fucking step of the way. I think he was having trouble before because he was B12 deficient, as many vegans can be, because B12 is not necessarily in their diet. And I think recently he even talked about how he's supplementing B12, and it's given him more energy. It's helped his body work more efficiently. And I also believe that he completely changed his training. He's doing a lot more deadlifts. He says he doesn't squat much because I think he said he has a knee issue. But I do believe that he's doing a lot more compound movements, which help your natural testosterone levels. And he's still a young guy. So yeah, I do believe he's natural. It's not like he's made serious crazy gains. He's made kind of half newbie gains. And very honestly, it's because I think he's still kind of a half a noob. I don't like him. I mean, anybody who talks about smashing babies, we've talked about that before. I've made videos about that before. But realistically, do I think he's natural? I absolutely do think he's natural. Next one comes from Just Add Hummus. What got you on your path to fitness? I was always an athlete. This is going to kind of a surprise. When I was in high school and when I was younger, I was a competitive pole vaulter and gymnast. And I did gymnastics really only to help out with the pole vaulting. I was a track and field athlete, loved track and field. I did practice martial arts for when I was younger. No, it's not a Jason Blaha thing where I'm going to claim a whole bunch of black belts or any bullshit like that. I practiced martial arts when I was younger. That's just the truth. CS Kim's in Pittsburgh. Fucking look it up. But anyway, but mainly I was a track athlete. And for the pole vault, you need to be a great all-around athlete. Some of the best all-around athletes ever, like Sergej Bubka, was the world record holder from the pole vault for a fucking long time. Fabulous athlete, could run fast, jump high, bench press twice his body weight. Incredible athlete. So you need to be a good all-around athlete. So I started working out. I started lifting weights as a method of pole vaulting, and it just stuck with me. And also, I just started loving it. But I've always been an athlete all my life, and that's what got me into it. Next one is AJFF Empt. How do you make a meal plan when you have a very busy schedule, such as for a firefighter or paramedic? I'm a very busy dude, very busy dude. Prep, like the one consistent like block of time on a weekend or your day off, whatever it is, to meal prep is just tantamountly important. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard fucking time. Realistically, that, and I personally depend a lot on whey protein and stuff like that when I travel. I will take like a big pack of rice with me, basically, and some veggies, or I'll stop and buy veggies at like Walmart or something like that, and then I will I'll have the rice with me, I'll have the veggies, and I'll drink whey protein shakes. That's literally what it is. It's tough when you're very busy, especially when you travel, but it can still be done. You just have to be diligent about it. And I'm not always great about it. I'm not. I need like a new food carrier. If anybody knows a good one, comment below. The next one comes from Unholy Brownskin 187. Fucking crazy ass name. In your experience, do lateral raises really benefit all that much? Are heavy overhead presses the way to go for wide shoulders? I like side lateral raises depending on how my shoulder feels. And shoulders is by far my favorite body part to work when my shoulder feels good. I used to love doing heavy military press with. I think the most I ever got was with 125s for reps, dumbbell wise. But I personally believe in heavy dumbbells. I just do. I think nothing adds mass to your shoulder like heavy dumbbell press. Even better than overhead press with a bar. I just believe that. That's what worked for me, I should say. Side lateral raises are great to get a good burn at the very end, to get like that cap looking effect. But for broad, strong shoulders, I really like the overhead dumbbells. The next one comes from Nicaputo, and he asks, how does one become such a savage like you? That's pretty easy. You just don't give a fuck what people think. I try to live my life by, I try to be straight up and honest. I try to be fair. I try to look at things from as many sides as possible. Don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong if presented with new evidence, because that's just fucking stupid. Educate yourself. The best thing you can ever build is your mind. Period. Hands down. And I know that may be weird coming from me for how much I swear, but my videos are basically me without the filter, with the volume turned up really loud. My Q&As aren't quite like that. However, I do really believe that the best thing you can ever do is build your mind, because if you build your mind, then you can understand how to do other things. Then you can understand how to build your body, because you can educate yourself on what proper nutrition is, proper form, that sort of thing. Once you can put your ego away, it's easier to become educated in that way. It's also easier to be a savage when you put your ego away, because it's not about ego. Like, I don't know what the fuck you say about me. I mean, I do what I call Emineming people. Like, I do the 8 Mile thing, where I will say every fucked up thing somebody can say about me, then what they got to fucking say. I mean, be self-actualized with yourself. Once you're comfortable with yourself, it's easier. Besides that, I really think that it's my wit. Like, I mean, the way I grew up, this is how people talk to each other. It's how we almost talk to each other. So I'm just like kind of an average guy where I grew up, and I think I just don't mind being on camera and people saying they fucking hate me all the time. So the next one comes from DJ Kid Riley. What is your experience while cutting when continuing to lift heavy? I'm struggling with having enough energy while doing so. Should I back to higher reps, lighter weight? Actually, if you're having trouble with energy, I would see where you're timing your food out, but also I would see how big of a deficit you are at. You might be at too high of a deficit. Maybe you also need a refeed. I personally like a lower weight, higher rep. I do that like maybe once every 5 weeks, just to switch it up for my muscles. But it's still, to me, it's the same amount of energy one way or the other. It really is. Are you going to lose some strength when you're cutting weight? Yeah, absolutely. You're going to lose some strength. It just is what it is. That's literally why I'm keeping weight on for the powerlifting thing. But one way or the other, you're going to you're going to lose some weight, and then you'll bounce back. It should bounce back as much as possible when you add carbs back in your diet. Anyway, my name is Alan Robertson. This is Every Damn Day Fitness. Like and subscribe. Hit me up on Instagram at Every Damn Day Fitness. Hit me up on Twitter at Every Damn Day Fit. I'm also on Facebook at Every Damn Day Fitness. And I'm on the internet at everydamndayfitness.com. And part 2, I will be filming and releasing at the same time. So check that out. God damn.